Hey everybody, Stacy from the Key to Soul Awakening. I just came on here as a surprise live because I went on live on Instagram this morning and it worked out so well that I figure I just hang out here, see who pops in. You can ask me your question. If you're new here, you just ask me your question, put it right in the chat box. I go live every Sunday, but I figured I'd just pop on today because I have a few extra minutes. So if you have a question or anything to ask tarot, psychically, anything about spiritual awakening, go ahead and pop it in the chat box. I did put the information there if you want to subscribe or you want to book a reading with me. But I'm just here as a surprise to see who's around and see if we could chat and if I can give you any advice with questions you have about your life. So let's see who's around. Hey, everybody. Let's see. I'm going to do some tarot about... Kim and Kanye are coming to my head right now. But I'm just hanging out to see if anybody's here. Let's see. Oh, I also forgot we need to, if you give me your life path numbers, I'll tell you about what your life path is and what your goals are. Add your birthday, month, and year if you want. All right, so I'm here just surprised today, and if you want to ask me any questions about, you can ask me anything. Nice to see you. You can ask me anything you'd like. I'm here for you. I'm going to be here as long as everybody wants me to stay around. Estumana, nice to see you. Thank you for coming. This morning I did an Instagram live and it worked out so well. I just thought I'd come on here and try an impromptu live on YouTube in the middle of the week, which I usually don't do. I usually only do them on Sundays. Okay, so May 25th. Okay, cool. So that would be 8. Your life path is an 8, and what that is you're learning your lessons through value. A lot of people say you like to learn your lessons through money, but I like to say more value. So whatever you value in life, yeah, you're an 8. Whatever you value in life is that's what you have time for. If you don't find value in it and you don't have time for it, you literally just forget about it. Like those people are dead to you or that situation is dead to you. You tend to throw yourself into work, and that's because you like to value money and material things. You learn your lessons this way, and that's not a bad thing. What am I getting, though? I'm getting that you've had somewhat of a crisis with work, specifically in your career, somewhere along the way. When I say career, I'm not sensing it. It's like two different things. You can give me a little bit more yeah, and that would be, so when I tell you you have value, you learn your lessons through value. So that's it. You either have a really good time getting a job and you hold the job and you have all the material things you want, or if you're not living life the way you have planned to live it, which is what I'm sensing right now, it's flipped and you struggle with money. You struggle a lot with keeping the balance of it. And it's because you're not in vibrational balance with what you had planned to do. Let me put some cards down and I can get some more information on this. I get a lot of nervous energy from you. So let's see. It's interesting. Have you had two specifically different careers that you were looking or you've gone into, or you've struggled, you've gone into one and wanted to go in the other? Like I see a struggle between two different things. Okay, your cards are interesting with this. Okay. So your lessons, you have a reverse moon. I have a job with big money, but I always spend your money. Yeah, that is because you definitely find more value in the money itself and then what it can bring you. So, okay, you're too certified. Yes. So when you say that you always spend the money, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but I think it's causing you, and I'm going to get to what your cards say in a second. The reason you spend the money is because it's like some people like hug everybody, hug everybody. But other people are, spend on material things. So that's the way you show value in yourself. That's the way you show value to other people, is that you spend your money. And so, yeah, that's definitely, I'm going to get to that. Okay, so your cards. Okay, so I see a lot of reversed ones, which aren't very bad if we can look into it. Your center lesson is a reverse moon. And the moon in upright is actually not good because you're living life under illusions, under things that aren't there. But if it's your moon is reversed, which means your anxieties are going to be coming to an end soon. And I'm going to get to that for a second. Yeah, and that's okay. I mean, nothing you're doing I feel is wrong. I just feel like you're a little bit off of balance with your life right now. Thank you for those who've just come in. If you have any questions for tarot or psychics, just pop it in your chat box. I'm going to get to you. Okay, so right now, your anxieties about this are going to come to an end, but the cornerstone of this is that you have manipulation around you. So you feel like there's something around you that that's kind of molding you in a way. It's molding you where you want to go, where you don't want to go. I'm sorry. So there is something around you that you're fighting against. What about two jobs? Yeah, I'm definitely seeing there's two. Like you're struggling with this too. Okay, so let's get back to this. So you have star. Okay, so you have very much of a sense that you've lost faith in what you were taught in life. Okay, so you have always money and tarot cards been reading. It's because your life path is about value. But okay, so the overlying issue here though is you've lost faith in life itself. You've lost faith in how it's going. So, and you're relying a lot on these jobs and the money. Is that sounding right to you, that you've lost faith? You're a bit disillusioned with life and what you were told it was supposed to be. Just a lot of struggle. So what I'm seeing is in the future, in the near future. So I can't say like typically when in the future because it could change, but in the near future. So I'm saying like 2 weeks to 2 months. You going to have a choice to make between. Yep. Thank you, Neelam. I will get to you in 1 minute. I'm almost done with this one. Okay, so stick around. You will have a choice to make, Estimana, okay? So there's a choice coming up for you in 2 weeks to 2 months, having to do with this two struggle, with the job, the two struggle. And you're going to have to take a clear action plan with it. And it really comes down to what you're more comfortable with, all right? So it comes down to if you are liking one or the other, or you, even if the one pays more but the other one you like better, go with one feels better. Because at some point this is going to have to, you can't hold this up too much. Like this struggle can't go along much longer, because a lot of it's just showing you have a lot of stress and a lot of disillusionment with life right now. If you have any questions, I mean, you can ask me more questions, Estimana, or you can make a appointment with me up in the pinned chat, where I gave you my link. You can make an appointment for a reading with me. Make sure you subscribe, okay? Okay. Let me get back to that, Estimana. Okay, I'm going to do Neelam's reading. I think we got a lot going on here with you and the value, your life path, et cetera, et cetera. So let me get back to you about, reading, that sort of thing. Okay. So Neelam, your life path is, give me 1 second. You are a 4. Okay, so a 4 is on your life path is, you're welcome. So your life path, Neelam, is a 4, and 4s are very much the most solid people out of all the life paths. They're very much the truth seeker. I will get to you in a little bit, okay? Can you put in your birth date if I can help you with your life path, and we can go from there, okay? Sima? Okay, so back to the 4. Lena, so you are very much a truth seeker. All right. You like stability. You like the truth. And it really doesn't matter what the truth is as long as it's the truth. If it's good or it's bad, you just like to know. And you like to have a list of things to get things done. Very black and white thinker. It is addition to the numbers, except I'm going to tell you how your attitude number too. So you are a 4, and your attitude number is an 8. And that's interesting. Okay, so I'm just going to double check that. So your attitude number, and the attitude number is how we approach life. No, you're 7. How you approach life. So you can have a life path, but when you have your attitude number, that's kind of like how you look at things, how you look at life. So your life path is a 4. You're very much black and white. You like a list of things. You just like to get it done. Check, 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 check. Good. But when you approach life and it's 7, and a 7 is a very spiritual number. You're very rooted in spirituality, and it doesn't have to be this kind of spirituality. It could be any religion, you're just very rooted in spirituality, very in touch with that. However, the 7 also has a conflict with how they need to have a logical explanation for anything, and that kind of like butts head with the whole spiritual thing. So you have an inner, yeah, you're asking a lot of like, why am I here? This doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't feel good to me. It doesn't make sense to me. And if this makes sense, let me know, because I'm getting a lot of conflict within you that you want to believe in all this spiritual, but you also want proof. Um, and I always like to say, the more spiritual you get and the more broad you get in thinking spiritually, you have to think illogically to think logically. And it's about getting out of that little box. It's about, spreading that your thinking is not just this box. The box is this big to think. So when you're looking at wanting a list and wanting logical things, it's very hard for you to go, okay, spirituality is great, but give me proof. Yeah, it really does. It really does. Except, I don't know. I don't think when I first started getting into all this and I realized I had psychic gifts, like, yeah, it was really cool. It was really mysterious, but I did not. It's a lot better knowing that it's not a mystery anymore. Like, I can look at things now and just go, yeah, for sure. Like, this is a lesson. This is why I'm going through this. This is why, like, great. I'll make funny story, huge funny story. So my husband almost drove like head first into traffic the other day, and I just started laughing because I was like, okay, this is like something we're going to learn from, because like that's what everything is that you challenge. Whenever it comes challenged to you, you learn from it. So let me put your cards down, Neelam. Okay. Those of you who are here, make sure you hit that like button so you tell YouTube you like my channel, and subscribe if you want more spirituality content. I talk about everything spiritual awakening, karma. I do help people clear their karma. And if you're interested in that, you just hit the link that's at the top of the chat and I can talk more to you about that. All right, Neelam, here is your reading. So center is, okay, 10 of Pentacles is a really good card. Family, there's family there, and you've reached a sense of accomplishment in your family, Neelam, where and it may not be so much you that's doing it, but you really, really just sink into this sense of like togetherness, and you very much enjoy that. Yeah, I will do that, Neelam. Okay, so what I'm seeing is in the past, you've had a bunch of manipulation around you. Yep. You've had a bunch of manipulation around you, Neelam. So much so that it made you go question. It made you question: Am I doing this right? Am I a failure? It shook you a little bit, but not so much that it knocked you off. Just it was just kind of an oops, like, oh, what did I do there? And people were looking at you in a way you didn't like. But you've moved on. But that was in your past. So right now, yeah, I'm seeing a lot of questioning about the world, and offer. You are deeply with. Oh wow, my guides just showed me. Wow, Neelam, you have a deep sense about you. Very deep thinker. People ever tell you you're an old soul? People ever tell you that like you understand things on a level that you, like, I just keep getting that you're too old for your age. Like you're young, but people tell you that you're older. You're an old soul. Yeah, narcissism, that's not fun. And then this is actually, that goes right into what I'm feeling with you. Yeah, you have empathic skills. Do you have empathic skills? You know this. because what I'm understanding is that you might know this and you're pushing it away. Let me move to the near future here. Okay, good. Your cornerstone is strength. So you have a rooted strength that's going to come help you. In your instincts are really straight on, really, really straight on. Yeah, you overthink. That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. Um, you're overthinking because of that conflict between your life path and your attitude, because you need that logic, but you also are very deeply spiritual. And I'm telling you honestly, you have spiritual gifts. Yeah, that's empathics. So an empath also is usually, they're so drawn to narcissists. If you don't know what you like, honestly, I don't think you know what you can do. But I'm getting a lot of power from you, Neelam, that and that would draw in a narcissist. That's going to keep drawing into a narcissist until you protect yourself spiritually. And that just means you put the white light around you and you ask your guides and the white light to keep anything negative away from you, because you soak it in. And I've been through that. I've been through that a lot, where I just didn't know what it was before I realized all of this. Um, yeah, and that's where that conflict is coming from. You do overthink things, but what you need to do is sink into your intuition a little bit more than just going, oh, that's cool. Sink into it, and I think you're going to realize that your gifts are going to start coming out. All right. If you have any more questions, just put them in the chat box. If anybody would like to make an appointment with me, I put my link above in pinned chat, or you can just subscribe, and I post everything on here on my YouTube channel. I go live once a week on Sundays to give live tarot readings and psychic readings. I also post educational videos on spirituality, spiritual awakening, karma, the law of attraction I talk about a lot. Basically anything my viewers want to hear, I post teaching videos about. Okay. Oh, your vibe. Oh, right. Let me see. I'm getting that you're right in the middle. So you're not a really low vibe. So that's good. And what's holding you back from being like more positive is this questioning of yourself, the world. And the more you sink into your intuition, the more you sink in and think positive about yourself. And that's where that relationship probably knocked you down a bit. The more positive you think about yourself and your position right now in this moment, in every moment that you have, your vibration is going to go up. You're very neutral right now, which is okay. It's good. At least you're not low, right? Okay. I'm going to go back up here real quick. All right. I've heard this question. You've asked me this question before about going abroad, and I know I've told you I can't answer you because you're really young. What I'm going to say to you is the information I've gotten, it's popped into my head a few times, Seema, is that I don't see travel right now in your future only because of this world situation. I don't see it because I see a lot of restrictions happening. And it doesn't have anything to do with you or your life or your situation. It just has to do with where we are in the globe at this point. So what you're seeking to happen will happen, but it needs to happen after we're all through this. And that's what's going to hold you back right now. And, you just have to flow with it. And if you don't flow with it, it's going to hold you up even more. Okay, sweetie? All right, I love dogs. Okay, I'll get back to you, Neelam, 1 second, okay? Because I'm honestly making a video about the dark night of the soul, like right now. Like I just stopped doing it. I'm going to post it tomorrow. So I'll get back to you in a second. I love dogs. I have a question. What good things do I have coming into my life this year? All right. Do you live near water or the ocean? I love dogs. Getting lots and lots of like ocean views. And that could either mean that you live there or that you are moving to a place, and I mean moving, I mean like spiritually moving into a place where you're going to be very peaceful with things. So it's one or the other. So just let me know if you live near water, or if you don't, then that means that you're moving into a very peaceful time in your life. You live near a lake. Okay, great. Okay, so what do you have coming this year? Let me look first, and then I'm going to put the cards down. I get, I love dogs, that you, water to you is more important than to most people. Like it is very not refreshing. It revitalizes you, the water, even to be near it, that you get something spiritual out of the water. And that's why you like being around water. And it was right away what popped in my head as soon as I saw your name was that water does more for you than most people. All right. So being near a lake is really good. Wow, am I getting chills? That means that there's a message coming in for you. So just stand by. Okay. Oh, Pisces. Okay. All right. Hold on. Here we go. All right. So you've dealt with a lot of betrayal coming into this reading, and that could mean either in the immediate past or within the last year. Okay. So what I'm seeing right now with when you say the West Coast, it's funny because I'm like seeing the mountains and everything. Okay. But really, it doesn't matter. I just saw the water. It's really great for you. So, what I'm seeing right now is that you were dealing or are still dealing with some level of betrayal, and it's going to be coming to an end, or it has ended, and you're going to be letting it go. So, your cornerstone card here is saying that there's something came to a painful ending, and you haven't really been able to let it go yet. Um, Yeah, I mean, this really happened to like you didn't even see this coming kind of a thing. Like, whoa. And it's really, really knocked you off your feet. Okay. It's been a rough 3 years. Okay. What I'm seeing is in the immediate future that your strength is so good. I mean, you have this core that I think most people would admire. It's like it's showing to me as like a steel pole inside of you. Like you're very strong, but you don't like it. Okay, so yeah, you're very strong, but you would like people to understand that you are also have emotions with you, and you would like people to understand that and not just rest. Oh, strong, they'll deal with it. You know, so your self-worth needs to be your focus in the next few weeks. You really need to focus on yourself and the value that you have in yourself. And that's specifically what my guides are saying is what value do you have in yourself? And that doesn't mean in the world, that means with you specifically. What value, can you see value in yourself? That's what they keep asking me. There are goals you have. Okay, great. Okay, so there's goals you have, and I see that you're working towards them. Still saying you need to refocus though. Is there a project you're working on? Like there's something that you're working towards that came up out. They're telling me it came out suddenly, came out of you like one day. You're like, wow, cool. There is something you're working towards, and this is going to be something that you're working on over the next year. He married, hard to leave. He met someone. Yeah. Yeah. And that's what it was like. Whoa, where'd that come from? And it really knocked you off your self-worth. And okay, what I'm seeing is you're working on, when I say a project, it's more like work-based or something that you've always wanted to do that you're now working towards. And it makes sense if you're coming out of a relationship that you would be working on something. They're telling me it's going to fulfill your dreams. Like this is something that you really, really want to happen. And they're saying you need to take your time and plan it. But it's going to be fantastic. Okay, vet tech. You know what's funny is I didn't want to say that I saw dogs just because I saw your name. But yeah, like I totally see the animal thing. What they're saying is you're going to be fantastic at what you're doing. All right. You're going to be highly sought after. Like people are going to walk in and be like, oh, where's this tech? I really, really like them. Where are they? Okay, so just ensure that you do your best at school. Know that relationship, okay, they're also telling me know that relationship that you came out of was for a lesson for you to learn. It was not to harm you in any way. It was not, even though it did, it was not to harm you in any way. It was not to, punish you. And I think you felt you were being punished. Is that what you felt, you were being punished? And I keep hearing the question, like, what did I do to deserve this? And Nothing. You didn't do anything to deserve it. None of us do. What you need to understand is that whole relationship was his missed opportunity in order to understand unconditional love, and you learned it. You learned how to love yourself. My best friend Holly went through this. If you look on my channel, I did 2 videos on her, soul contract and difficult relationships. And I talk all about how we don't ever make mistakes in relationships. So difficult relationships, sometimes we think like, why did I get in this? This was such a big mistake. Nothing's ever a mistake. You learned from things. Yeah. And that's what they're telling me, that's what you need to do now. I love dogs. I want you to, and specifically, I want you to think about how you are now stronger and a better person on the other side of it. And if you had never gone through that, you will see that you're on the other side of it and so much better. And it's kind of a weird thing. You don't want to thank yourself for going through it, but you learned a lot, and you were just in a really great spot in your life right now. I'm really seeing the next 12 to 14 months being really, really good for you. Yeah, me too. Yeah, those relationships do teach, don't they? Yeah, I grew up with two narcissistic parents. So I totally get what you're talking about. And my best friend Holly, I watched her go through a marriage that wasn't so fun. All right. If you have any other questions, I love dogs, I'll answer them. Jumanji, I think I gave you a tarot reading, but I can do another one real quick. If nobody else had any other questions, I don't mind. I can do it again. Let me just see if I skipped anybody. I don't think so. If anybody's on here and they have a question or they want to find out their life path, anything, I'm here. I just was popping on to see if I could get the people who are awake at 3:30 in the afternoon. Okay. Oh, I love dogs. You're going to have like such a great next year. Like just breathe nicely. Okay. And just flow with everything. Even if you get challenged, just flow with it, because you're going to have a really great next year. All right. Just don't get too upset. Just roll with everything. Okay. All right. So, Esteban, what I do with these questions about who your future husband is first, I wanted to explain to you that there's not just one person that we're all looking for. Like, there's a lot of different people that would suit us very well. And I kind of laugh when they talk about soulmates, because like, I think it's kind of ridiculous to look at like our soul is like this, and then we're cut in half, and then either that other half is on the other side or on a world of like how many billions of people, and we need to find them. It's just ridiculous. So there's a lot of people that you're welcome. I love dogs. Make sure you subscribe, okay? Because I want to stay in touch with you, okay? So your future husband, I can help you with that. I can give you a couple options. Also, there's probable timelines, which means 80%ish. I can see what's happening unless you make a different choice to kind of put you off that timeline. I can see what's probably going to happen. Okay. Your future husband. I mean, honestly, I'm seeing a business suit. I'm seeing he's very dapper, very, very dapper, very I love this, like, I'm the guy kind of guy. Like, he's smooth. Businessman. I want to say he's a salesman. Like, he has that kind of attitude, like a salesman kind of a thing. You're not, you asked me earlier, no, you're not going to want for money. It's not that you're going to be like super duper rich, but like you're going to be comfortable, which is all we can really ask for, right? So dapper man's always a thing. I'm trying to find out when you'll meet him, and they're not telling me, which lets me know if they're not telling me, that means you have not made all the choices in order to line this up yet. Okay, so what needs to happen is you need to move a little bit further in on your life path or your timeline. Okay. And they're saying make sure you stay real positive about anything that's coming. You need to stay positive, and you need to stay. And when I mean stay positive, I don't mean delusional, like, like your house is burning down. Oh, great. No, that's not what I mean. What I mean is when you're faced with a challenge, make sure you look for the positivity in it, and make sure that you handle it in a way that is only good vibrations, because when you do that, it's going to move you closer and closer to your highest and best timeline, which this man is on. Okay, because right now you're not there yet. Right. Like, I love when people tell me that, like, you told me to stay positive through everything. No, I didn't tell you to stay positive through everything, sweetheart. Somebody steals your purse, you call the cops or you run after them, whatever you need. That's not a good thing. Okay. But what you don't want to do is like throw yourself down and have a temper tantrum about it because it happened. Let's deal with it. Right. Same thing with like your house burning down. Like, you take precautions, but things happen and just deal with it. A lot of people get stuck in this negative, and what they don't understand about that, and I'm going to go off on a little tangent here real quick, is what they don't understand is the law of attraction is using those negative feelings. Like, we all know people who like complain about everything, right? Like these people who complain literally about everything. All right. Those people, the reason they complain about everything is because the law of attraction is still bringing them things to complain about, because that's how the law of attraction works. If you're putting it out, the law of attraction is going to bring it to you. The law of attraction is not about fixing things. So if you say to the universe, like, I hate my life, the universe is not going to fix it. You need to put out into the universe what you want in your life and how you want to feel in your life, and then the universe will bring that to you. So that's my big thing about staying positive. You have to stay positive. All right. No, I don't think you've met him. I don't think you've met him yet. No. Neelam, what did you want to ask me? Okay. Whether I met my future spouse. Okay. Neelam, I'm getting that you are. Why am I feeling like you're super young? You're not super young, are you? 85, right? 92? 92. Like, look how old I am. I feel like that's like 10 years ago. So, no, I get this feeling though, Neelam, that you're very young. Like, you have this young spirit. Okay, so they're telling me you're going to have a very long life, and that's why I'm feeling like you're like super duper young. Yeah, okay. You're welcome. Yeah, and honestly, 28 feels super duper young to me. So like, all right, but no, I feel like your spirit is very young and you're gonna have a long life. So they literally are saying, whoa, like slow down. And I know wherever you are, there's like this age thing. They're saying there's this age thing that you need to be married by a certain time. And you don't rush into it. Oh yeah, long life. You're gonna have a long, happy life. So have you met the man? I don't think you have. And the other thing, I think the man who is, now remember what I said about how there's a lot of people for us. Okay, so when I rank them, and I'm not ranking them in some kind of like masochistic way, I'm ranking them in the way that they're best for you. So the one that you would marry that is in the highest and best timeline is going to be somebody that you particularly would not have looked at. But because when you moved your highest and best timeline, you are open to anything that the universe brings us. So you are going to, and when you stay positive and you learn how to do this, the universe brings us all kinds of different things. So the universe is going to bring you this man, and he's going to be to put it lightly, he's not going to be your type. All right. So I want you to stay open to anybody that comes. All right. You're going to meet him very soon. Okay. Under 6 months, you're going to meet this guy. But he is not what you typically are looking for, but he is the best one for you. All right. He is kind. He is, I'm getting the word sweet, caring. He will take care of you. But you have a specific type of guy that you like. And the universe is like, you need to kind of look the other way. Okay. Does that answer your question, Neelam? Anybody who's just joined us, you can put in a question about your life, about celebrities, about the world, about spiritual awakening, karma, law of attraction, anything. I'll answer it for you. I'm going to be here as long as everybody wants to ask me questions. In the chat box, I've pinned up my to schedule a reading with me. If you subscribe to my YouTube channel, I talk about everything spirituality. On Sundays, I have lives just like this on every Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I also have a Patreon, which I support people who need specific help in spiritual things. Like if they're having a little bit of trouble, like the dark night of the soul, somebody right there, the dark night of the soul. Like I support a lot of people going through the dark night. Okay. So yeah, did I tell you earlier, right? You were the one I told you earlier that you were very neutral, right? Is that was you, right? Um, that and that's good because that means you've like stripped everything that away. That's good. Um, when I went through my dark night, it was um, but I'm glad I did. So, okay, yeah, that is why I was seeing that you being neutral because you're going through the dark night. That means you have already stripped away everything that was not good about your shadow self, and that's good. You're feeling all right. You're approaching the place where you are going to be questioning who you are. You're going to be questioning. I got to the point in my dark night, honestly, where I heard my name and I was like, "Who's that?" Like I didn't even recognize myself anymore. So you're approaching that spot, and what you need to do right now, like until you get out of this, is you need to make sure you're only doing positive things. You need to not even forgive yourself for things that you think you need to be punished for. You need to just let go of all of that. Like there is no need to even forgive yourself. There's no need. Yeah. I would love to talk to you more about this because Dark Night of the Soul is a very personal thing. Um, so I'll give you a little bit of my background and then I'll get back to what I'm seeing with you. So when I went through the Dark Night of the Soul, when I started to lose who I was, and this does happen with the Dark Night, and it's different than depression. Depression, you have this crushing pain of sadness, despair. I mean, it's almost unbearable in depression, the pain that you feel. And I dealt with depression a long time. When I went through my soul awakening, I inadvertently ended up going through the dark night. It just happens, really. You don't even like plan it, it just happens. And when I was at the point where you are, I felt very much like I was stuck in cement. Like I just couldn't move. I was stuck in cement. I didn't know how to get forward. I didn't know how to fix it. And I resolved with myself that I'm just going to not fix it. I'm just going to stay right where it is. I'm going to stay right where I am, and then move forward when I was ready to move forward. And that's a really hard thing to do, especially with somebody like me and like you who like answers, who like to know how to get things through things. How, it's like power through. Let's do it. So when I ended up breaking out of that like cement was when I was talking to my guides one day and I just was releasing everything I possibly could. So there's a process to get rid of your karmic patterns where you say, I see it, I feel it, I release it. And I was starting to go through the whole lesson of, I see it, feel it, release it. And then all of a sudden my guides were like, you need to release this rage you have inside of you. And if you didn't know me before, and honestly, I'm so not like this anymore. But if you didn't know me before, I really was not a nice person. I really did walk around probably one of the most negative people on the planet. And here I am. I went through the dark night and I literally I'm not anything like I was before because the spiritual awakening just changed me so much. So when I let go of all of that, honestly, I released all the rage. Is when I literally broke out of the cement and I could feel my ethereal body rising. And that's when all of my gifts really, really got big, really, really got strong. So let me get back to Adeline. I see you. I'll be right there with you. Okay. Thanks for joining me. So you already questioning who you are. What you need to do is just stay where you are mentally with this and just take it as it comes. Take it as it flows. And you'll know when it's time to move on and don't push it too much. Okay, Neela?